The history of England stretches back more than 5,000 years. It is impossible to escape the past here. As you wander mysterious monoliths, misty landscapes, and rugged coastlines, you'll discover a country filled with unparalleled places. Here in the Lake District, mountains reflect in still waters. And red deer thrive among the trees. Along the northern border, Hadrian's wall stretches across windswept hills. A Roman frontier still standing after nearly 2,000 years. In the Cotswolds, honey-coloured cottages and country lanes create one of the most iconic rural landscapes in the world. Etched into the landscape, hill figures like the Cerne Abbas giant remind us how long humans have shaped these hillsides. Leaving bustling cities behind, in this video we're exploring the true soul of England. The Lake District, located in the county of Cumbria, is one of England's most treasured natural areas. The region is shaped by geological activity and glacial erosion, characterised by rugged fells, steep ridges, and more than 200 bodies of water. Windermere is the longest and largest natural lake in England, measuring about 10 miles in length. Formed during the last glacial period, it is a classic ribbon lake fed by several rivers, including the Brathay and Rothay. Scafell Pike, the tallest mountain in England, rises over 3,000 feet above sea level. The summit offers commanding views over the surrounding peaks and, on clear days, distant vistas extending to the Irish Sea. Keswick, a historic market town on the shores of Derwentwater, is nestled between the Skiddaw Mountains and the lake. Many of Keswick's older homes and cottages are built from local slate and volcanic stone, complementing the surrounding mountains. Located just outside Keswick, Castlerigg Stone Circle dates back to around 3000 BC. The monument consists of 38 standing stones, arranged in a circle, some as high as 10 feet. Red deer are the largest native land mammals in the UK and have roamed the British Isles since the end of the last ice age. In the Lake District, they are most commonly found in remote upland areas, where they graze on grasses and shrubs. Thanks to conservation efforts, the number of otters in the UK have recovered, and they are now living peacefully in parts of the national park. These semi-aquatic mammals are primarily nocturnal, but can occasionally be spotted during the day. Badgers are known for their black and white striped faces and strong forelimbs. Because they are elusive, wildlife watchers often use infrared cameras or join guided badger watching evenings to spot them. Atlantic salmon make epic journeys from the sea to spawn in the rivers and streams of the Lake District. Leaping up waterfalls and battling strong currents in one of nature's most impressive migrations. Cheddar Gorge was carved out over thousands of years by meltwater floods, when glacial water eroded the soft limestone. A scenic road runs directly through the gorge, winding between towering limestone cliffs. The narrow, twisting route offers dramatic views and connects the village of Cheddar to Priddy on the Mendip Plateau. The steep limestone cliffs of the gorge provide ideal nesting sites for peregrine falcons. These iconic birds of prey are known for their incredible speed, reaching 200 miles per hour during hunting dives. Beneath the gorge are extensive limestone cave systems, rich in stalactites and stalagmites. They provide essential roosting habitats for several bat species, many of which are rare or threatened in the UK. Bat populations are carefully monitored, and access to some parts of the caves may be restricted to minimise disturbance. The Isle of Wight is located just off the southern coast of England, separated from the mainland by the Solent Strait. The town of Cowes, on the northern coast of the island, is best known as a global centre of sailing. Every August it hosts Cowes Week, one of the oldest and largest sailing regattas in the world. This prestigious event attracts thousands of sailors and spectators from around the globe. On the western tip of the Isle of Wight lie the Needles, a series of 3 sharp chalk stacks. Once accompanied by a 4th pillar that collapsed in a storm in 1764, the Needles are one of England's most iconic natural landmarks. Situated on the island's southern coast, Ventnor is a picturesque seaside town built beneath St Boniface Down. Once a fashionable Victorian health resort, it remains known for its Mediterranean microclimate and terraced villas. Just off the northeast coast of the island lie several circular sea forts built in the 1860s during the reign of Queen Victoria. Known as the Palmerston Forts, they were designed to protect the mainland from potential French invasion. Some have been transformed in recent years into luxury hotels or private residences. The Jurassic Coast stretches 95 miles along the southern coast of England, from Exmouth to Studland Bay. It is celebrated for extraordinary geological features and 185 million years of Earth's history preserved in its cliffs and fossils. Layers of ancient rock record a vast history of changing seas, shifting continents, and prehistoric life. Durdle Door, a spectacular natural limestone arch, is located near Lulworth Cove in Dorset. It was formed over millions of years by erosion, as the sea gradually wore away weaker rock behind a hard limestone layer. At the eastern end of the Jurassic Coast rise the striking Old Harry Rocks. A group of chalk sea stacks and stumps jutting out into the sea from the white cliffs of the Isle of Purbeck. Old Harry refers to the tallest and most prominent stack, while nearby stumps and arches complete the formation. Spanning several phases of construction that lasted over 4,500 years, Stonehenge is one of the richest archaeological sites in Europe. At its heart, Stonehenge is composed of an outer ring of massive upright sarsen stones, each weighing up to 25 tons. Inside this ring lies a horseshoe-shaped arrangement of even larger trilithons. Beyond the main circle is the heel stone, located to the northeast, marking the point where the sun rises on the summer solstice. Surrounding all of this is a circular ditch and embankment, part of the earliest phase of the monument. The methods used to transport and raise the stones remain a topic of scholarly debate. Though it's believed that large teams of people used wooden sledges, ropes, and sheer determination. Though the exact function of Stonehenge remains uncertain, it clearly held great spiritual and astronomical significance. The Coldstones Cut is a piece of public art on a monumental scale. It was created by Andrew Sabin as a cultural response to Coldstones Quarry. The sculpture, which opened in 2010, features a series of platforms and pathways that allow visitors to explore its impressive structure. Coldstones Cut is built from locally quarried limestone, echoing the materials and industry it overlooks. While etched stone panels and plaques along the path explain the geology, quarrying operations and local history. Standing 1,400 feet above sea level, it is the highest public artwork in the UK. It is possible to view the vast quarry hole, limestone quarrying operation, and sweeping panoramas across Nidderdale National Landscape. The site is accessible via a 1,600 feet uphill walk from the car park and is open year-round. Peak District National Park, established in 1951, is traditionally divided into two contrasting regions. The dark peak characterised by gritstone moorlands, windswept plateaus and deep peat bogs. And the Wight Peak that consists of green hills and gorges carved by rivers. Stretching for nearly 4 miles near Hathersage, Stanage Edge is one of the most iconic gritstone escarpments in Britain. Rising to about 1,500 feet, it offers expansive views across the Hope Valley and is a magnet for rock climbers and hikers. Located in the Wight Peak, Crome Hill is a jagged limestone ridge with a unique, undulating profile that has earned it the nickname the Dragon's Back. Though it looks alpine, Crome Hill is accessible to most walkers and rewards with a truly cinematic experience. Winnett's Pass, a narrow limestone gorge, is famed for its steep, grass-covered cliffs and winding road that threads through the valley floor. The name is derived from wind gates, referring to the strong gusts that funnel through the pass. Spanning the River Wye in Monsaldale, the Headstone Viaduct is a striking 19th century railway structure. Once controversial for spoiling the view, it is now celebrated as part of the peak's heritage and engineering history. Red foxes are one of the most adaptable mammals in the Peak District and are active across both the Dark and Wight Peak. They are largely nocturnal but may be spotted at dusk or early morning, especially near woodland edges and quiet farm fields. Common in the Peak District, especially in wooded areas and farmland, pheasants are often seen darting across rural lanes. Introduced for game hunting, they've become a familiar sight with their vivid plumage and crowing calls. In the heart of the Peak District, sheep outnumber people. Their quiet presence defines the rhythm of the hills. Lambs are usually born in spring and stay with their mothers for several months before being weaned. Barn owls often roost in stone barns and farm buildings, and conservation efforts support nesting through the installation of owl boxes. These silent predators prefer open farmland and dales, where they hunt small mammals. Bamburgh Castle sits on the site of an ancient fort that was once the capital of the Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Bernicia in the 6th century. After the Norman conquest in 1066, Bamburgh was rebuilt in stone. With a massive keep added during the reign of Henry II in the 12th century. Perched on a 100-feet-high volcanic outcrop, the castle had a natural defensive advantage and served as a key coastal fortress. During the Wars of the Roses, Bamburgh became the first castle in England to be defeated by gunpowder artillery. In the 19th century, Lord William Armstrong, a wealthy industrialist and inventor, restored the stronghold into a grand residence. Today, Bamburgh remains in the hands of the Armstrong family, who maintain it as a historic home and tourist attraction. Newquay sits on a sweeping bay with several sandy beaches, making it one of the most visited beach destinations in the UK. The town's economy today largely depends on tourism, with a vibrant nightlife, numerous restaurants, and shops catering to visitors. Newquay is home to 11 sandy beaches, many with dramatic cliffs and tidal pools. Fistral Beach hosts international competitions like Boardmasters and attracts surfers from all over the world. Tulkarm Beach is located near the town centre. It's sheltered and family-friendly. Nearby, a small secluded harbour provides safe anchorage from the often rough Atlantic seas. It's a popular spot for watching fishing boats unload their catch, or for taking boat trips along the rugged Cornish coast. The famous house on the island is perched on a sea stack just offshore, connected to the mainland by a suspension bridge. Beaches are divided by headlands, rugged cliffs that jut into the sea. The Cerne Abbas giant hill figure in Dorset depicts an unclothed male figure wielding a club. The origins of the giant are uncertain, with theories ranging from prehistoric times to as recent as the 17th century. The figure is maintained by regular chalking to keep its distinct outline visible against the hillside. The Uffington White Horse in Oxfordshire is about 360 feet long. The figure is thought to date back to the late Bronze Age or early Iron Age, around 3,000 years ago. making it significantly older than the Cerne Abbas giant. It is believed to have religious or tribal significance and is protected as a scheduled ancient monument. Uffington Castle, a large Iron Age hill fort, is located atop the White Horse figure. It is defined by a double set of earthen ramparts and ditches, which would have originally been topped with wooden palisades. Archaeological evidence suggests it was used intermittently and may have had ceremonial or social functions. The Cotswolds' gentle hills and honey-coloured stone villages offer one of the finest examples of traditional English countryside. The landscape is a patchwork of green fields and ancient beech woodlands, crisscrossed by stone walls and walking trails. The distinctive yellow-hued limestone quarried locally shapes much of the region's rural charm and gives Cotswold towns and villages their characteristic appearance. Towns blend medieval layouts with Georgian elegance, retaining much of their historic character. Originally part of a Benedictine monastery, Tewkesbury Abbey dates from the early 12th century. It features a massive central tower, rounded arches, and an ornate fan-vaulted ceiling added in later Gothic periods. A heritage railway, named the Cotswold Steam Train, runs for about 17 miles through the northern edge of the region. It offers passengers views of the surrounding countryside and a nostalgic travel experience aboard restored steam and diesel locomotives. Located near the village of Broadway Tower is a folly built in 1798 on Beacon Hill. Designed by architect James Wight, the tower was intended as a decorative structure, but has served various purposes over time. The Ouse Valley Viaduct is considered one of the most elegant and architecturally striking railway viaducts in the UK. Constructed between 1839 and 1842, it was designed by engineers John Urpeth Rastrick and David McAtter as part of the London-Brighton Railway. Built from over 11 million bricks, the viaduct features 37 semicircular arches resting on tall, narrow piers. One of its most distinctive features is the series of elegant Italianate-style balustrades and pavilions that decorate the top of the viaduct. The repeating arches and symmetry that make the arched vaulting appear infinite make it a popular subject for photographers. Despite the structure's fine design and materials, it has had an expensive and problematic history, requiring numerous restoration works. Nevertheless, the Ouse Valley Viaduct remains in use today, carrying trains on the Brighton Main Line between London and the south coast. Glastonbury Tor, a prominent hill near the town of Glastonbury, stands at approximately 500 feet above sea level. Geologically, the Tor is made of blue lias and clay, with its terraced hillsides likely formed by natural erosion. The surrounding sunset levels are low-lying wetlands, which once made the Tor appear as an island rising from the marshes. The hill is topped by the roofless St Michael's Tower, the surviving part of a 14th century church. It was constructed in the Perpendicular Gothic style, characterised by vertical lines and detailed stonework. The original church on the site is believed to have been built in the early medieval period, possibly as early as the 11th or 12th century. This church was reportedly destroyed by an earthquake in 1275, one of the strongest recorded in British history. And then the present tower was rebuilt, but the church itself was never fully reconstructed. Highforce Waterfall is widely regarded as one of the highest and most powerful waterfalls in the country. With a drop of about 70 feet, the River Tees plunges over a band of hard wind-sealed dolerite rock into a deep pool below. The surrounding mineral layers also include older, softer sedimentary rocks, which have eroded more easily over time. This erosion continues today, meaning that the waterfall is slowly moving upstream, leaving a narrow, deep gorge in front of it. Highforce is notable for the volume of water it carries, especially after heavy rainfall or during the spring melt. In extreme conditions, both sides of the rock face carry water, although for much of the year the main force flows from the left-hand side. A well-maintained footpath leads from a car park to a viewing area at the base of the falls, making it accessible to visitors of all ages. The Seven Sisters, a striking series of chalk sea cliffs, rise sharply over the English Channel coast in East Sussex. They're part of the South Downs, a range of rolling hills, and are known for their brilliant white faces. Formed from chalk during the late Cretaceous period, the rock walls are shaped by coastal erosion. Unlike the more famous White Cliffs of Dover, the Seven Sisters remain relatively pristine due to their exposure to the full force of the sea. Near the western end of the cliff stands the decommissioned Bell2 lighthouse, built in 1832. Perched on the edge of a bluff near Beachy Head, Bell2 was moved inland in 1999 due to coastal erosion threatening its foundations. The entire building was shifted 55 feet back from the cliff edge using hydraulic jacks. Today, the lighthouse functions as a privately owned guest house, but it remains a much photographed and admired historic site. St Ives developed around a medieval fishing port and took its name from St Eyre, a 5th century Irish missionary. By the 19th century, the town had a strong pilchard fishing industry, with fishermen launching boats from the harbour and nearby beaches. The arrival of the railway in 1877 connected St Ives with the rest of the country, triggering the growth of tourism. In the 20th century, it became a hub for modern British art, with figures like Barbara Hepworth and Ben Nicholson living and working there. St Ives retains much of its historic Cornish architecture, with narrow cobbled streets and granite cottages. The heart of the town, known as Downalong, is a maze of fishermen's houses and studios that reflect its maritime heritage. St Ives's sheltered harbour faces east into the bay, providing protection from the prevailing Atlantic winds. While the beaches on the west and north sides open directly to the sea, making them ideal for surfing and coastal recreation. Leeds Castle is set on 2 islands in a lake formed by the River Len, surrounded by 500 acres of parkland and gardens. Its history stretches back over 900 years, with the original structure being built in 1119 as a Norman stronghold. Traces of this earliest Norman construction are still visible in the core foundations of the Gloriette, located on the smaller island. Over the centuries, Leeds Castle passed through the hands of various monarchs, including Henry VIII, who used it as a home for his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. The structure showcases a blend of medieval, Tudor and 20th century revivalist architecture. The 2-island configuration is rare among English castles and gives Leeds Castle its storybook aesthetic. Located within the castle grounds, the maze was designed in 1988 and built using over 2,400 yew trees. At the heart of the maze lies an entrance to an underground grotto, which acts as the surprise exit route. Hadrian's Wall, the most iconic remnant of Roman Britain, stretches approximately 73 miles in the northern England. Construction began around AD 122 during the reign of Emperor Hadrian, with the wall serving as a military fortification. Built primarily of stone in the east and turf in the west, the wall originally stood up to 20 feet high, with a ditch and a road running alongside it. At regular intervals, the Romans constructed mile castles, watchtowers and larger forts to house troops and control movement. Housesteads is one of the best preserved Roman forts along Hadrian's Wall. Known in Roman times as Vercovicium, it was garrisoned by auxiliary troops and housed around 800 soldiers. Sycamore Gap, also known as the Robin Hood tree, sits in a dramatic dip in Hadrian's wall. Sadly, the original tree was illegally felled in 2023, prompting widespread shock and mourning. Plans are underway for regeneration, and the site continues to be a place of historical and natural significance. The Theydon Bois earthwork is a lesser known but significant ancient feature located in Epping Forest. It is believed to be a prehistoric linear earthwork, possibly dating back to the Iron Age or early medieval period. The structure consists of a bank and ditch, likely used for defensive purposes, or to control movement through the forested landscape. Although it is now partially eroded and overgrown in places, parts of the earthwork are still clearly visible. The earthwork lies within Epping Forest, a historic ancient woodland managed by the City of London Corporation. Due to its obscurity and limited excavation, the precise age and function of the Theydon Bois earthwork remain the subject of academic interest and local historical research. St Michael's Mount has a rich and layered history that stretches back to prehistoric times. In the 8th century it was given to the Benedictine order and became a religious site, twinned with Mont Saint-Michel in France. The original priory church was built around 1135, and the site became a place of pilgrimage during the medieval period. In the 17th century, the monastic site was dissolved and transformed into a private residence by the St Aubin family, who still live there today. Parts of the medieval structure were incorporated into the castle, which has been adapted over the centuries. The steep hillsides surrounding the castle are carved into garden terraces, connected by narrow winding stone steps. At the base of the island is a small working harbour built in the 15th century and improved in the 18th. At low tide, St Michael's Mount is accessible by a cobbled stone causeway that pedestrians can walk across. At high tide, the castle can only be reached by boat. And here we say farewell to England. Thanks for watching till the end. More wonders from around the world are waiting for you next week.